Hey y'all, Fishing with Tyler coming at you. 1 month after owning the Shimano and Loomis Conquest, here's my thoughts. Are they worth the $650 price tag? In my opinion, yes. The construction is second to none. These things are extremely awesome. They're really light. The cork is amazing. I've said before in the previous videos, this thing, the full cork grip kind of turned me off a little bit. I hate full cork grips. It's not that I hate them, I just don't fish them. So I thought that was going to be something that I would not like or have, doubts about. However, having this thing for a month and having it in my hands for a month, I'm here to tell you that the full cork grip is the real deal. One of the biggest questions that I've had on YouTube and Facebook and other places is, how does the Conquest compare to a standard NRX? This right here is an 853 NRX. It does have a E-Series crown arc on it as opposed to this really super light CI4 Plus crown arc. It does have an angler mount, which doesn't weigh anything, and a 1/2 ounce underspin here. So it does, give it a little bit more weight on this, but I would say, on the grand scheme of things, the rod on the Conquest is going to just barely edge out the weight of the NRX. It's a little bit lighter. So how does it compare? In my opinion, you're getting the same sensitivity and build quality of the NRX, but you're adding this Spiral X wrap from the Shimano and the Zodia side of things. Keeps all of your guides in a straight line when you're casting or setting the hook, which takes down the friction of your line. One, keeps from burning your line up on hook sets or casting, and it also will allow you to cast farther because your line is going out of the guides in a more straightforward fashion. Are they worth the money? That's another question. I have a lot of people, kind of skeptical and say, hey, I can go out and catch just as many fish as you can on a $100 rod, or that, than you can with this $650 Conquest. I'm not doubting you. 100% fish what you like, guys. Fish what you can afford. Me personally, I've got to use some of the best products in the market, and I have consistently came back to the Loomis NRX. This is my favorite rod on the market, without a shadow of a doubt. Matter of fact, here's a brand new one that I just picked up. This is an 894 with a Chronarch MGL. Look at that thing, man. One thing I want to show you guys really quickly before we go on, this is that MGL I was just showing you a second ago. One thing I want to show you is that Shimano actually has a dual action thumb bar here. So you can press it down one way, and then you can actually turn the handle just like you would to engage it, or you can press up on the thumb bar to engage the reel as well. Really helpful, and it's tough to do without a rod on it. You press it down, you can press it back up when you're flipping, so you don't have to move your hand. You just flip it in there, and a lot of people are one-handed when they're feeling for that bite. So that's one thing I want you guys to make sure that you're aware of, that with that thumb bar. Again, it does press down, and there is a little indentation here that you can get your thumb up underneath to press that thing up in and actually engage the reel. This is going to be my flipping stick. I'm going to put some 17-pound fluoro, maybe braid, I haven't decided on that yet, on here, but this thing is awesome. I love it. Do they compare to the NRX? In my opinion, I'd say the Conquest does. Are they worth the price? And again, as I go back, if you like to fish $100 rods, go buy the $100 rods you like. Shimano and Loomis make some. Actually, Loomis is probably a little out of the $100 range. I think the smallest one they have is E6X, which is $199. But Shimano has some really nice rods in that $100 price range, or even lower than that, and you're not going to beat the build quality of anything Shimano or Loomis makes. But I fish high-end rods just for the simple fact is that I love fishing with it. And again, I have 5 NRX rods now, 2 spinning, 3 casting rods, and I love them. Will I own a Conquest? Yes, I will. And again, as I mentioned before on the previous video, this thing is actually on loan to me. This rod, this is on loan from Drew Sadler, who is affiliated with Shimano and Loomis. So I want to thank him for that. But will I own some? Yes. You can bet your end I will, because you're taking all the build quality of an NRX, sensitivity, actually cutting some of the weight down of an NRX, which obviously is nothing, and adding the Spiral X wrap that you get from the Zodia line of things. So, in my opinion, are they worth the price? Yes. How do they come up with, or how do they stack up against the NRX? I think they've outdone themselves with Shimano and G Loomis. I feel like that you're getting the same sensitivity and build quality as an NRX, but it's actually cutting a little bit of the weight, adding Torzite guides and Spiral X wrap. You can't beat it, guys. If you have any other questions about the Conquest, I have to give this thing up here in a few days. I'm going to take it back to Drew. It's going to be a bittersweet goodbye. But if you guys have any questions about it while I have it, or I can get you some information about it whenever I can, or whenever I need it. So whenever you guys have some questions, let me know. And again, comparatively speaking, between the NRX and the Conquest, I think they're very similar. Very, very similar. Again, I feel like, and I'm not saying that this is true, I feel like that it's a blank similar to the NRX with Spiral X wrapping on it on the Conquest, which is a huge benefit. So head on out and grab you guys one, pick it up. If you guys are going to be in town around my area in February, head on up to the Tackle Box open house there, and we'll have some of these up there. You guys can check them out, you guys can cast them, pitch them, whatever you guys want to do. And if I still have it here in the next few days, you want to see it, let me know. I'll meet you somewhere, you can check it out. So again, guys, thank you for sticking around with another episode of Fishing with Tyler. If you have any questions about these two rods or anything that I can help you do, drop a comment below. Make sure you subscribe and share my content. Thank you, guys.